This conference will now be recorded.
So, hi everyone, good morning again. Before we start, I would like to just discuss about introduction. So, I am having overall 8 plus years of IT experience. In that, I have been working on CyberArk tool from the last 5 years. So, when it comes to my role and responsibilities, I have uh, I have been doing the CyberArk implementation and development, and also the L3, L4 related issues, and also into the operations. So before we start, I would like to just know about you guys, like what is your background, like you have any prior experience, or this is the first time that you are learning this tool. Okay, so if you are working in some industry, so which industry you are part of? Just a brief introduction about yourself, then we will go ahead and start the workshop.
Hey, hi, I'm Gaisri.
Yeah, hi guys.
Yeah, I have an experience in healthcare industry. I was ended it in 2018, and up to now I'm not working, and I'm a housewife, and I want to start again. So
Okay.
I think it's CyberArk is the best option for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is my background.
Yeah, thank you, Gesh. Thank you for the
Yeah,
introduction. Yes, sir.
yeah,
Actually,
thank you.
CyberArk is the best tool that you can learn easily, and there are a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
tools are there in the market. Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sure, sure.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Yeah. Hi. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. My name is Suresh. I'm from Warangal.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
My name is Suresh. I'm from Warangal. Before I'm working in Amazon team leader. Last 5 months back, I this is my job is a contract based job. This
Okay.
contract is over, so I move forward it in an IT sector. Uh, so that's why I'm choosing.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for that, Suresh.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, sir. I am Ritu. I have 3 years of experience in IT. I am working in TCS. So I have 2 years of experience with CyberArk tool in TCS. I worked as an identity and access management analyst. So I want to explore more on this tool. So I'm here.
Okay, that's great actually. So whatever we are going to learn, it is from end to end, completely almost equal to the real-time environment and real-time project. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Ritu. Thank you for your introduction.
Yeah.
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Yeah. Hi. Good
I'm
morning.
I'm Bhaskar, working as a DevOps engineer in MNC Bangalore.
Okay.
So here I'm looking for CyberArk admin.
I think you have got call and this audio got disconnected.
No, no. I'm audible.
Yes. Yes. I can hear you. Yeah. Hello,
Yeah,
Bhaskar.
yeah, good.
Hello. It is Ishwar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, Ishwar.
hello.
Please go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, good morning to all. My name is Ishwar. I am basically from Kadapa, Andhra Pradesh. Actually, I don't
Okay.
have any experience in IT, but I am I mean, concept militaries grower. I mean, it's medical mushroom actually.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just one my side.
Okay, okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your background. Actually, by saying your or by talking your background, so it will give the understanding of the tool that how I can explain you. Okay, what operations or what kind of things that we will do in CyberArk, I can give you the better explanation. Okay, okay, that's good, and thank you all for your introduction. So let us start our CyberArk workshop demo. Okay. So this CyberArk workshop demo today was designed by Vsigninfotech. So before we discuss about CyberArk, okay, I would like to just give a background about CyberArk tool and also about some other tools. Okay, so CyberArk is a tool which is used to manage the privileged accounts passwords. Okay, so what are privileged accounts passwords? So guys, whenever we are discussing anything related to our CyberArk tool, these terminologies are little different from the other tools like other technologies. Okay, .NET or Java, those coding field, they will use OOPS concepts and all something like that. But when it comes to identity management tools, the terminology will be little different. Okay, so you will understand it once you start learning it. Okay, it is very easy. Okay, so it is not comparable with the normal coding languages or normal other languages. Okay, so what is CyberArk? CyberArk is a privileged account management or privileged identity management tool. So what is an identity management tool? Identity management is nothing but a life cycle of an account, okay, in the organization. So what is a life cycle? When it starts, when it ends. Okay, so basically I will give a simple example. Whenever any employee joins in any organization, okay, example, one person joins in an organization called Google. So that day onwards his life starts in that organization. Once he put the papers or once he resigns to that company, his life cycle ends there in that organization. So whatever the access was given to him on the day one, it will be revoked on the last working day of his career in that particular organization. Okay, so that is a life cycle of an employee. So here employee will have an identity, right? So about his access, what type of role he is holding, what type of access he is holding. So managing that identity is called identity management. Okay, so here CyberArk is a privileged identity management tool. Okay, so there are many tools are there in the market to manage the identity managements like normal end user accounts lifecycle. Okay, like Oracle identity management, SailPoint, ForgeRock. Okay, so these are the tools that are used to manage the normal identity management or the employee identities in the layman terms. But CyberArk is a tool which is used to manage the privileged identity management. Okay, so what are the privileged identities? So if we take in any organization, okay, there are some privileged accounts will be there. So what are privileged accounts? So privileged accounts are nothing but they have more authorization than the normal accounts. Okay, example, in an organization, all the team, just normal software employees will be there, then lead will be there, then senior lead will be there, then manager will be there. Okay, in this process, manager will have higher authorization than the lower employees. Okay, manager can see his team members data, who has worked on how many hours, okay, what level of access this guy is having. Okay, So he can see more information about his team, but ground level employee cannot see it. Okay, so after I'm just muting you. Yeah. So here we can consider, just I am giving you an example. We can assume this manager account is a privileged account. Okay. If I want to give a some other example, we all have the internet banking. Okay. In going forward also we will use our banking sector as a comparable example to our CyberArk tool. Okay. It is almost similar to the environment which we are going to build. Okay. So first of all, whenever we have a bank account, we will be having the internet banking option, right? So we can log into our individual internet banking account and we can see our transaction data. But when we go to bank, the teller guy or whoever the guy who sits there, okay, he will be able to see all the customers accounts information from that bank, right? If we steal his credentials, okay, we can transfer whatever the amount we want, right? So here our individual account is a normal account which is having very limited access on the same application, internet banking application. But when we go to the bank, the teller is having more authorization on the same application where he can transact the lot of money, he can withdraw, he can credit, he can do whatever he want. If we steal his account credentials, we can also do those things. So here, the bank, whoever is the person working in the bank, having the privileged account, we are going to protect, we are going to store such a kind of privileged accounts inside the CyberArk. Okay, I hope now you have understood about what is a privileged account. Okay, so how we are going to protect? What are the things are that are there in the CyberArk to protect the privileged accounts? So basically, I'll tell you the main agenda in a simple way. To protect our internet banking account or whatever the account, what we will do, we will change the account password frequently for every 180 days, okay, or for every 90 days in an organization. We will change the password of our account, right? That will have some complexity like small letters, capital letters, special characters, minimum length, maximum length. Okay, so by putting the restrictions, we are going to create a strong password that the hacker cannot steal it. So the CyberArk also does the same. Okay, it is going to store the privileged accounts with the strict passwords so that no external hacker can hack it. Okay, so CyberArk, it is a solution, okay, which is there to rotate the passwords, monitor it, and monitor the privileged account, and maintain its passwords on the regular internet. Okay, it is a solution that can be used on-prem servers or virtual machines or on the cloud servers like AWS and Azure kind of. Okay, and it will also have the patterns, like how hackers usually use the patterns to attack the accounts and steal the passwords from it. So CyberArk will protect such a kind of patterns. So it is having many around 12 security layers so that no external hacker can touch these accounts. Okay, so currently in the market, in the worldwide, almost all the sectors are using CyberArk tool to protect their privileged accounts. Okay, so why we need CyberArk? As we discussed, so this CyberArk solution is there to manage the privileged accounts passwords. Okay, so how it will manage, when to rotate, what time to rotate. Okay, everything will be managed by itself, but we just need to define it once. Okay, so we there are certain rules that we can define, like for some accounts we need to change password daily, for some accounts we need to change password for every 60 days, 30 days, 90 days. We can define those policies. So once we define it, it will take care in the backend. Okay, so that we were restricting the access and we are making the required changes based on our necessity. Okay, and there is no manual intervention required to manage all this stuff. Okay, so as we just discussed privileged accounts, here are the real technical privileged accounts that we can see. If we can see in the Windows machine, okay, on the Windows server, we will be having a account called administrator. So it is a default account created after installing the Windows OS, right? And when it comes to Linux or Unix, there is an account called root. So it will be created for the Linux or Unix machine. So which holds the maximum authorization or the maximum access on that particular machine. So here we are calling them as the privileged accounts. So we are going to store these kind of privileged accounts in CyberArk and manage its passwords. Okay. So similarly, we have some other tools also here, like Oracle Database, WebLogic Server, and other identity management tools like Oracle IDM, SailPoint IDM, ForgeRock. So these tools are here to access something. They are going to put their privileged accounts in the CyberArk and protect their privileged accounts. Okay, so these are the examples that are given. So in the real world, there are different types of privileged accounts will be there, like infra account, shared account, service accounts, scheduler accounts. Okay, so these are the DB accounts. These are the different types of accounts will be there. We are going to put them in the CyberArk and manage them from the CyberArk. Okay, so to manage all these things, okay, CyberArk requires some components. So when we talk about components, CyberArk is having around 15 components, I can say. Okay, but here we have displayed here these components called core components. Okay, so these components will exist in almost all the environments. Okay, so each component will take care of each responsibility. Okay, here we can see the components names like private arc server, private arc client, central password manager, password vault web access, privileged session manager, privileged session manager for proxy, disaster recovery vault. Okay, so these are the components that will take care of the password management of privileged accounts, how they will work, what kind of responsibilities they will take. Let us discuss in detail. So we have guys, first of all, CyberArk has developed on the .NET framework. Okay, so most of the components we are going to use on the Windows servers. Okay, so these are the components whatever we discuss mostly they will be installed on the Windows machines. Okay, exe files will be there. We will just go ahead and install them and configure them. Okay, so private arc server, or we will be calling it as vault or pass vault or enterprise private arc vault. So these are the different names that are given to the same single component. Okay, so assume it that this is the vault and this is the place where we are going to store all the privileged accounts. Okay, and it is very easy that we can install it. After installing it, right away we can start using it. Okay, so it can be used at its peak capacity once after the installation is done. So it is the place we are only going to store the privileged accounts data. But to access this privileged accounts data, CyberArk has given a application called private arc client. So this private arc client application will be accessed by only CyberArk admin people. Okay, to see the data what is there inside the vault or inside the server. Okay, so private arc server is the place where we are going to store the data, and private arc client is an application which we will be using to access the server data. Okay, only CyberArk admin people can use it. Okay, so we have other component called central policy manager. Okay, so this
Hi,
is,
sir.
yeah,
Hello. Yeah, Bhaskar
yeah,
here.
yeah,
So, wha- so can we install the Vault in Windows machine also?
yeah. We have to install only in the Windows machine.
Okay, okay. And i- so there is no option on other machines like Linux or something.
No, 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 no.
So we have to install only Windows only.
Yes, yes, correct.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So here we have another component called central policy manager or the password manager. So far we have discussed, right, like a privileged account password will manage, rotate on the frequent basis like 30 days, 1 day, 60 days, 90 days. So this guy, this central policy manager or the password manager will take care of the policies which are applied to the privileged accounts. Okay, so the password change, the password rotation will be triggered automatically from the backend. So no human intervention is required. In case if the privileged accounts are having some issues, in such cases only we will be looking into the issue and fixing such a kind of issues. Okay, and this CPM will also generate the password based on the password policy that we set to that account. Okay, so basically this central policy manager, you can see the name itself, policy manager or the password manager. He will take care of the password related stuff which are applied to the privileged accounts. Okay, and one more thing actually we have to say about this guy. So not only managing the password of the privileged account, whenever the account is having some issues with the password related stuff, there is an option called reconciliation. Okay, so this CPM manager will automatically trigger the reconciliation. So what is reconciliation means? If the password goes out of sync, okay, so this CPM uses a super admin account to change the password of the privileged account. Okay, how we will do it, how we will manage it. So we'll be doing that once we start building the environment and working with the account related stuff. Okay. So till now we have discussed about the the server is there to store the passwords and client application is there to access the vault data by admins. Okay, and CPM is there to rotate the passwords. But how the end users will access the privileged accounts? Okay, here is the component called password vault web access. Okay, as the name says, it is a web access. It is a web application. Okay, so this web application is used to access the privileged accounts by the end users as well as the CyberArk admins to manage the configuration or the policies to the privileged accounts. Okay, it is very easy to manage the privileged accounts access and the policies, and by reading those options and all we will be able to easily manage those policies or the configuration things. Okay, it is having many features like you recently accessed account, recently disabled account, recently accounts which are having issues. Okay, so there are many options are there for the CyberArk admin people so that they can easily get the required information from that. Okay, using this console we can generate the reports, we can provide the access to the users, we can revoke the access to the users. Okay, many things, most of the things can be done using this web application only. So this web application will be accessed by URL. Okay, most of the time I can say like 70% of the time we'll be working on this page only. Okay, so the next components are privileged session manager and privileged session manager for proxy. Okay, so let me give an example, See, we went to the bank. Okay. So before discussing this about a privileged session manager and all, I'm just giving an example. Okay, just assume that only. Okay, so we went to the bank. We have asked to deposit 10,000 rupees to our account. We filled all the required form and we gave it to the bank. Okay, so what they did is, instead of 10,000, which will have four zeros, the person he has entered five zeros. Okay, so which is like 1 lakh transaction, which is a wrong transaction, 10 times to the actual transaction. Anyway, in the at the end of the day, they will know it is a wrong transaction. But if they use the same account, like to transfer such a kind of amount in the bank, there are 4 5 people, minimum of 4 5 people will there. They will use or they will do the transaction to the customer's account. It will be difficult to identify who has done the transaction. They will know only these 4 people should have done this transaction, but it will be difficult to know who has done that particular transaction. Okay, but when we use this privileged session manager in the CyberArk, if the account exists in the CyberArk, when we use this privileged session manager, whenever any end user or any person uses privileged accounts via CyberArk, all the activities, whatever they are going to do on the target system, it will be recorded. Who has accessed it, what time he has accessed it, what operation he has performed it. Okay, we can play the video. Okay, it will be the screen share will be recorded, and we can play it, we can download it. Okay, so that we can easily identify in case if someone makes some wrong makes some manipulation on the data, or some misconfiguration. If something happens, they can easily know who has done that activity. So usually this privileged session manager is there to record the sessions of the privileged accounts. Okay, so what it will do is, it will record the session first. Okay, during the session recording, it will store inside of that machine. Okay, and once the recording and all are done, the recorded session will be moved to the vault. Okay, mostly it will be accessed by the auditors. Okay, so what purpose these guys are accessing this account and all, so everything will be stored back into the vault. Okay, so privileged session manager is used to record the session. Then what is PSMP? Privileged session manager for proxy. So some Linux users, to establish the privileged session manager, they should go through the PVWA, which we have just discussed. Okay, so Linux user mostly they want to go through the command line process. They want to go through the commands. They do not want to log into PVWA and to access the privileged account. In such cases, PSMP will be used. Okay, PSMP will be installed on the Linux machine. Okay, and accessed by PuTTY application to access the target server. Okay, so which is a manual process. You need to pass every detail manually. This thing will be installed on the Linux machine to connect the Linux servers. Okay, PSMP. And the session record will happen in the text format. Okay, basically they will enter the commands, right? So whatever the commands they will enter on the Linux boxes, so every command will be recorded along with its timestamp in the text format. So that is the only difference. Okay, so PSM and PSMP. So this is the another component called disaster recovery vault. So since we are storing the privileged accounts information, which is very critical information inside the vault, and it should be accessed by all the time by the end users. What in case if that vault goes down, vault server goes down for some reason? Okay, so CyberArk has given a solution called disaster recovery vault. Okay, it is just like a replica or the backup of the primary vault. Okay, if the vault, the first vault, whatever we discussed, if it goes down for some reason, okay, without human intervention, this DR vault will be bought up. It means no human interaction will be required to bring up this vault. It will always try to reach out to that primary vault, and it will check whether it is running or not. Once this disaster recovery vault identifies that the primary vault is not working, it went down, the connection has lost. So I should be working as the primary vault and provide the services to the end users. So it itself will bot up and it will provide the same services as the primary vault, so that no impact will be there and end users can access the privileged accounts without any issues. Okay, and no one knows also, the end user will never know that we are accessing through the DR vault or something else. Okay, so these are the components that we are going to build in our environment from the scratch. Here we can see the privileged account security architecture, like how an IT personnel will log into the PVWA and how we will access the target systems. So first he will log into the PVWA, then he will look for the required account, whatever the access that he has on that PVWA or on the privileged account. He will select the account, he will try to connect to the target systems. So once he selects the account, there is an option called connect. Okay, once after clicking on that, what it will do is it will go through the PSM. So PSM will be, the session will be initiated for him from the PSM, and the required information is fetched from the vault. Okay, so once the information was received by PSM, it will connect to the target system. It could be database, Windows servers, okay, Linux servers, whatever the target system that he wants to access, it will be connected. So once his activity is done, he will close the session. Okay, so during the session recording, it will be stored in the PSM machine. Once the session is closed, the session will be moved to the vault. Okay, and the required logs will be shared with the configured SIM tools. Okay, so this is a normal way how an personal IT personnel will access the privileged accounts. So according to the Gartner report 2018 and 2020 and 21, CyberArk is the leading PAM solution, privileged access management or privileged identity management solution in the market. Okay, so who should learn CyberArk? So any person can learn this, and who is having 2+ years of gap and passion to learn, and it will be obviously added value added feature for the people who already know the identity management tools like OAM, SailPoint, ForgeRock kind of tools. So what are the prerequisites to learn CyberArk? Actually nothing. There is no coding or you- nothing actually required. Okay, so basically we are going to do everything from the scratch. Okay, we just need your attention and interest to learn this technology. So here we can see the CyberArk training high level course overview. Okay, dashboard of CyberArk, overview of Vault, CPM, PVWA, PSM, DR. Okay, integrating these components with the Vault, LDAP integration, and profile mapping, accessing the PAM, changing and updating the configuration, customizing the view, generating the audit reports, monitoring the live sessions, okay, managing the privileged accounts, managing the passwords of these accounts, restricting the account access and all. So here we can see the course offerings. It is a 25 to 30 hours of instructor-led online training, and we will be providing the cloud lab access to the students to practice. Okay, we will also provide all the necessary material to learn the CyberArk as per the market demand, and we will also give you the weekly assignments. And it will be like end-to-end real-time project implementation from the scratch. We will also help you in preparing the resumes, and we'll also help you in having the mock interviews, and we'll also help you in finding the positions in the current market and apply for it. We will also provide the first 3 days of recorded sessions to the students for better understanding about the tool. So why Vsigninfotech? So Vsigninfotech is one of the organization which is purely designed and providing trainings on-demand skills by group of employees who are working today in IT industry across the globe. So guys, usually we will be having some PVWA console to show you, but for now we do not have that. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and please ask me. If you do not have any questions and if you want to know the information about the session timings and all, you can please take this number and reach out.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for this demo, and I
Yeah.
will surely contact you. I already contacted, and again I
Okay.
will contact once I decided.
Sure, sure, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, sir. Bhaskar here.
Yeah. Hi,
Uh,
boss.
can I can we get the all recordings after the class end?
Yeah, yeah. So for that, please reach out to Gautam and discuss about it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you said 3 days of the class, right? You will
Yes,
get
yes,
the. Okay, okay.
yes.
Yeah, Bhaskar,
No, no,
basically, sorry guys, this is Gautam. So basically, what is the plan? Like, if you miss any class, you are not unable to attend, let us know. We will record and we will share it. And we can
no,
allow
no.
you a number of batches. There is no restrictions.
Once I complete the class, so is there any option or not?
No, not every day. If you don't want, if you are not attending any particular class, if you said us, I will record it. Hello?
Are you ready to provide all recorded classes once class end?
That is what I'm telling Bhaskar. First thing, first 3 days we'll record and we'll share to you. Second thing,
But
whenever you are not attending the class on the particular day, we will record and we'll share to you. We are not going to record regularly every day.
but
Okay? Hmm.
so it's a completely dry. CyberArk is dry for us. So how can you recall the classes?
No, that is what you can attend again one more batch if you want. If you have any questions and if you want to clarify, there is no restrictions. As you paid for this batch, we are allow you only this batch, not like that.
Okay, okay, okay,
Okay? That facility we have. There is no one stops you. You just let me know. I'll add you in coming batches.
okay.
Okay?
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. Do you have any further questions?
And one more question, sir. So the how the calls so CyberArk has the calls in Middle East also, like Dubai, Doha.
Yes, yes, yeah, yeah, in
Ac-
Qatar and yeah. So in the
Actually,
Middle
I'm
East,
I'm I'm
yeah.
looking for it, so I want to know from your side.
Yes, yes, yes. Calls are there, yeah. On the Middle East, the calls are there.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. So, guys, if you have any further questions, you can please ask. If not, please reach out to Gautam for the class timings and when we are going to start and all. So he has shared his mobile number here in our chat. Please take a note of it.